Hey guys, it's been a long time since I've recorded, and I've been busy with uni and stuff. But finally, we have maybe like a 3 month wait, 4 month wait since we put up the video talking about Purgatory Nights. But here is my version of the deck. So the buddy I have is Demio Sword Dragon. So we'll get onto him very quickly. He'll be the first card we talk about. So we play 4 Demios Dragon. He has a counter of Act. During your turn, destroy a monster on your field with Purgatory Nights in its name and stand this unit. You think, why do you want to destroy something? Because he gains an extra attack. So effectively he gets triple attack if you can destroy 2 monsters, which is the whole reason I built the deck. See, once I seen this, I just thought, wow, that's too good not to play. So we play 4 of this. He is your main target for destruction. And then we have the second target, which is Graham Lance. So this was the card that I took ages to find. So we play 4 Graham Lance. It has the same sort of effect where you counter destroy a Purgatory Nights on your field. Once per turn it gains a critical. He's the secondary target to Demios because he can only be done once per turn. And you want to attack as many times as possible. It's a very OTK central deck, in my opinion. But the other good thing about Graham Lance is it's a size 2. But see if you have a Purgatory Nights buddy, which I do, which is Demios, he loses a size. So it's effectively a size 1, which really is just broken. But it doesn't play much of a part, to be fair, because the deck does have size 0s. But it's so good. Next we play 4 Evil Greb Dragon. So when it's destroyed during the attack phase and by effect of a monster, you can draw a card. It's a 3/1/3, pretty generic. It's one of your main destroy targets. So one of the main combos I like to do on the first turn is call out Graham Lance and call out Greb and go battle phase, destroy this, draw a card, cycle through the deck a wee bit, and this gains a critical. So we're now sitting at 3 threat on the first turn, which is quite useful. Rest of the deck's pretty generic, monster wise. So we play 3 Troubadour Dragon. I want to play 3 because I've randomly teched out this deck with meta destroying cards, sort of. So it cannot be called to the centre, it's a 6/2/2. Pretty generic. Next is one of those techs, which is Swordbreaker Dragon. So when your life is 6 or less and this card deals damage, destroy an item on your opponent's field. Pretty simple. Next we play on to size 0s, which is 2 Purgatory Nights Crossbow Dragon. So all the size 0s have the condition of you have to have another Purgatory Nights monster on your field to call them. But you're not going to call this without having a Purgatory Nights in the field. So it's pretty much irrelevant. But when he hits and deals damage, you get to gauge a card. The deck doesn't need gauge, as none of the monsters cost anything, thus it's only at 2. Lastly is the generic size 0, again has the effect it can't be called to centre. We have Knuckle Duster Dragon, which is a 2/2/1, so it's a size 0 with 2 crit. It's used for the extensive 13 damage turn, I think it is. So that's all the monsters. I'll move on to the spells. So we have 4 Purgatory Nights Forever. This is sort of the continue clone for the deck. I know I reference everything to Dungeon, but that's just where my brain goes. So this is pay a gauge and a life and put 2 cards with Purgatory Nights in your name from the drop zone. So why would you not play 4 of it? It's good. So next is 3 Crushed Bodies, Sustain Mind. Reason for 3 is you don't need gauge. There's very little cards that need gauge. It's mainly the spells and the impact that you need gauge for, but you want to win with your monsters, hence not needing a lot of gauge. So when a card is destroyed by any effect, you get to gauge a card. And it also has a Glory Seeker effect of if your life goes to 0 and you mill the top card of your deck, if it's a spell, you gain a life. So that's why it's at 3. If it didn't have that secondary effect, to be honest, I probably wouldn't be playing it at all. Next is 4 Death Grip. We all know what Death Grip does. It's to pay 1 gauge, destroy size 2 or less monster on your opponent's field. Fairly standard. Next is Black Dragon Shield. Play 4 of that. It's the Green Dragon Shield clone for Darkness Dragon. Pretty self-explanatory. Next is 3 Dark Energy. So this is mainly for Spectral Strike, but it's used in this deck to keep your Demioses alive on your opponent's turn. So if say they go to Death Grip it, you have the ability to stop that destruction and keep going with your combo and keep going with your push. So that's the reason for the Dark Energy. It's a pay 1 gauge and also cannot be destroyed against counterattack. So quite standard. Now we go to quite the techie bit of the spells. So I play 2 Purgatory Flame that resides within this body. In the body, I don't know. It's a long name. So it's a counter of put a monster from your field into the drop zone, pay 2 gauge, and you negate an attack, and you deal damage up to the critical of the monster you destroyed. So say you destroy a Demios, you would deal 2 damage on top of the damage you've already dealt last turn. It's only at 2 because it's very gauge heavy and can be sometimes quite specific. Next is 1 Guillotine Cutter. It's a counter, pay 1 gauge, destroy a spell or item on your opponent's field. So it's at 1. We would definitely side more of this because it hates on a lot of things. And lastly, we've got Sudden Death, which is a Dragonic Thunder of the deck, which is destroy size 1 on your opponent's field with a counter. So this would also get sided a lot more. So that's all the spells. So we'll move on to the weapons. So we've got Purgatory Sword Fatal, which is a pay 1 gauge. When one of your monsters is destroyed, deal a damage. No, it gains a critical. Don't know why I was thinking about dealing damage. It gains a critical, so it becomes a 3 critical. 3 critical. It's pretty much all it's used for. It's one of your combo pieces, which I'll show you very quickly at the end, because we're almost at the end of the video. Lastly, we play 2 Distortion Punisher. This is sort of, I win, and I'm going to win quick sort of card. If you have the spell Crush Body Sustain Mind, you're going to get gauge more and more. And if your opponent goes final phase counter, and you can cast this, you can beat them, because this will resolve first. It's at 2 because I have an SP, and then I was like, it works quite well, so I'll put in a second one. And then I put it up to like 3, and I was like, oh, I'm seeing this far too often. So I think 2 is quite a solid number for Distortion Punisher. So the combo, which really is quite easy to pull off. So it requires a Demios, a size 1, and a size 0. For example, go this way. So you've got item, you've got Demios, you've got your size 0, and you've got Graham Lance. So you attack with the Demios, dealing 2 damage, attack for 2 damage, and attack for 2 damage. So there's 6. Then you use Demios to destroy and destroy, so you're standing. And then you're dealing again 4 damage. So you're setting at 10 damage, and the weapon is 10 damage, is 13 damage, and then you've destroyed twice. So you're going to have 4 gauge. So So then you've got a 17 damage turn with Distortion. It's pretty much the deck, guys. It's very simple. Play it once or twice and you've learned what the deck does. Give it a go. I enjoy the deck. It's my sort of playstyle. It's very, very aggressive in my opinion. So yeah, thanks guys. Pretty Fight Glasgow, signing off.